All right, welcome to the Mind and Spirit section. This is the last section of the last module of this course. So within Mind and Spirit, we're really talking about the Shen, as we discussed earlier. We're going to be looking at breath work. We're going to be looking at meditation. We're going to be talking about unconditional love and self-care. And just our connection to spirit, our connection to source. Since this is an Eastern medicine course, an Eastern medicine philosophical look at fertility, in Eastern medicine we recognize that we have a soul, that we have a spirit. So we're going to be discussing, we're going to be saying words like God, we're going to be saying words like the universe, saying words like spirit and source, and things like that. So if your personal beliefs don't align with anything that we say in this section, that's okay. You can take or leave anything in this section. This is just wrapping up everything that we've spoken about so far. In Eastern medicine, the spirit is really the foundation, the underlying source of all of life. So when we work on the level of the Shen, when we work on the level of the spirit and the soul, it's almost like you can take a quantum leap in healing your infertility and healing any condition when you work on this level, because the spirit precedes matter. So whatever physical condition you are suffering from, such as fertility or any hormonal imbalances, PCOS, endometriosis, anything at all, the spirit precedes that. So when you work on the spirit, you're going to the source of all of life, and you can really overcome conditions much quicker when you recognize this spiritual part of yourself, the spiritual part of the world, and work from that place. So this also gets into stress too, because stress disrupts this Shen, disrupts the spirit. So stress reduction certainly matters for fertility. Chronic stress can disrupt the heart, the liver, and the kidney systems in Eastern medicine thought. And we know how important those systems are when it comes to fertility. Emotional tension leads to what we call qi stagnation, which blocks the smooth flow of energy to the reproductive organs. Stress increases cortisol, which can interfere with hormone balance, ovulation, implantation, and menstrual regularity. So it's just good to recognize exactly what stress is doing to the body. We're all going to face stress in our lives, but we want to do what we can to reduce stress. And as we'll see, one of the easiest and best ways to do that is to really have a spiritual practice that really just takes the weight off of the physical world and really really brings stress level down when we're living from a place of spirit and not so much from a place of materialism. So just going deeper into it here on the Eastern medicine perspective of stress. So liver qi stagnation, so the liver meridian flows right through the reproductive organs, and when you're stressed, that qi, that energy stagnates, which is going to be basically choking the life out of the reproductive organs when it's done on a chronic basis. So we really, really want to do what we can to control this. So this liver qi stagnation disrupts the menstrual cycle, causes PMS, painful periods. Chronically, it can disrupt the proper flow of blood and nutrients through the uterus and ovaries, directly inhibiting the reproductive capacity. Like I said, just directly choking the life literally out of the reproductive organs when there's chronic stress. Heart and Shen spirit disturbance, which is also like an emotional disturbance. This affects emotional stability, sleep, and reproductive harmony. There is a channel that connects the uterus to the heart in Eastern medicine. So the uterus and the heart have a direct connection. A calm heart and a disturbed heart both have influence over the environment of the uterus. The body needs to feel safe in order to agree with pregnancy. Yes, this is an important concept. So if you're stressed a lot, you're worried a lot, you're in like a fight or flight response a lot, then your mind is sending signals to the body that, basically, like, it's almost like your community, your village is at war. Like, this isn't a safe time to bring a new child into the village. So we want to do what we can to manage stress so that we're sending signals of calm and peace to the body, so that the body feels like this is a safe time to bring a new child, a new life into the village. Like, things are stable, things are good, we can handle this right now. If you're stressed out all the time, if you're worried all the time, the body thinks we're at war, because literally the same hormones are firing in the body as if you were in a war. So it's so important to have some level of stress reduction practice in your life on a daily basis. Going on here, kidney depletion. So long-term stress, especially related to fear, injures the kidney, which weakens the foundational reproductive energy, which we know is the Jing, and this reduces fertility reserves. The mind follows the body, and the body follows the mind. They are one. Emotional balance is essential for reproductive balance. Yes. So dealing with fear, this is just a quote here, I believe by Macchiocha textbook. Joy makes the mind peaceful. It benefits the nutritive and defensive qi, and it makes qi slow down and relax. Fear counteracts joy and descends qi, makes the qi sink. So yeah, this is just a nice, like, poetic quote, just explaining what emotions literally do to our energy. So if, again, like we said before, if you're in fear, as it says there, it makes the qi sink. Whereas if you're in joy, it benefits the qi and makes the qi slow down and relax. So in order for the body to agree with pregnancy, your energy needs to be relaxed more than it's not relaxed. So we don't want to feel like all hyped up in fight or flight. We want the qi to slow down and relax. So we need to take some time every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to intentionally slow down our qi and relax. This helps the body agree with the pregnancy. Gratitude is our ultimate way to hack this, because it is impossible to be grateful and fearful at the same time. So if you're in fear, if you can just focus on the opposite energy, which we'll say is gratitude, it's impossible for the body to be in a state of gratitude and fear at the same time. So thinking of someone you love, thinking of things you're grateful for, as cliche as it sounds, it's very powerful if we can do this on a daily basis, even for just a couple minutes, just slowing down our breath and focusing on people that we love, things that we're grateful for. Here are some other techniques to nourish the Shen, to harmonize the spirit and reduce stress. So, of course, breathing exercises. You can just do simple deep belly breathing. The breath should expand on the inhale, and the belly should expand on the inhale, and the belly should contract on the exhale. You always want the inhale and the exhale to be equal, like inhaling for a count of 4 or exhaling for a count of 4, or you can have the exhale be longer, so inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 6, for example. As long as you're exhaling longer than you're inhaling, then you're getting the body more, and that you're activating more the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest mode of the nervous system, as opposed to the sympathetic nervous system, which is that fight or flight, like we're at war nervous system. So this is so simple. Like if you're someone that's very worried all the time, or if you're in fear, then you're sending signals to your body that, this really isn't a safe time to have a baby. So one of the simplest ways you can train your body to get back into the parasympathetic mode, into the rest and digest mode, is to just do some simple deep belly breathing and make sure you're exhaling longer than you're inhaling. The breath is the bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So if you're worried about something, you're fearful about something, don't try to just fight it in your head and try to intellectualize it and rationalize yourself back into joy or out of fear. Just go to the breath. Just forget about your thoughts. Just go to the breath and just hack your nervous system by just taking deep belly breaths for an inhale count of 4 or any number, but exhaling longer, like a count of 6 or any number. But you want to exhale longer than you inhale. Another really powerful breath is the 4-7-8 breath. You guys can try this. This is really powerful for like even stopping a panic attack if you feel that coming on. So you're going to inhale for a count of 4. You're going to hold it for a count of 7. And you're going to exhale for a count of 8. So this is the 4-7-8 breath. Dr. Whale, if anybody's familiar with him, he talks a lot about this breath. There's many videos about him out there talking about this breath and demonstrating it. Alternate nostril breathing can be really, really calming for the nervous system as well. It's very effective at harmonizing the left and right sides of the brain, so the logical brain and the creative brain. So it's very centering. Soma breathwork is another one I like to do. You can look up Soma breathwork meditations on YouTube or Spotify. It's a guided, more intense, deep belly breathing meditation with longer breath holds, sort of like the Wim Hof method breath holds, if you're familiar with him. But that can be very, very powerful as well. So there's so many great breathing techniques out there. You don't have to do all of them. You don't really want to do all of them. It's best to just, experiment with different ones. And when you find one that you really like and one that you can see yourself actually doing every day, just stick with it. Stick with it long term and you'll be absolutely astounded by the benefits. Breath work, when it's done on a daily basis consistently, it's more powerful than any supplement or any medication. It's one of the best ways to activate your internal pharmacy and anchor the spirit into the body, calm the spirit, and send signals to your body that this is a safe time and a safe environment to have a pregnancy, and that will have a profound healing effect on your fertility. Guided imagery and visualization. There's also fertility meditations where it's very powerful when you can imagine like a warm light filling the womb, body scan or yoga nidra to relax physical tension, get out of the head into the body, give attention to the cells. Yes, our cells are always listening to us. So when we focus our attention into different areas of our body, it's literally healing those areas of our body. Most of the time we're up in our heads with our awareness, so just bringing awareness into different areas of the body has a profound healing effect. So just even bringing your awareness down into your uterus and just, imagining it glowing with a warm light. Over time, it has a very profound effect. You're literally healing the cells of the uterus. It's like you're preparing it for your child. So as simple and as, kind of hippy-dippy as these things can sound, they're actually very, very powerful. And the more you do them, the more powerful they become. So don't overlook this stuff. Loving kindness meditation to cultivate softness and self-compassion. There's the Trojan horse exercise and the inner child meditation. Many of us have inner child traumas and things like that, so that might be more necessary for some than others. If anybody has a problem with self-love, which is very important, the Trojan horse exercise is very effective to get self-love into yourself. And very simple and very powerful. Surrender meditation. We'll talk a little bit about the importance of surrender and letting go here in a minute, but just being in a state of openness, like in Savasana at the end of yoga class, where your arms and your hands are open. You're literally opening your heart. Any heart opening yoga poses is just sending that signal to your body and to the universe that, you're letting go, you're surrendering, you're not trying to control everything, you're trusting. So any sort of heart opening, surrender and letting go practices are very, very powerful as well. So if you're someone that feels like you have to control everything, and you're constantly like checking your apps and everything like that, like measuring your body metrics and your cycle, and you're just like really on that, sometimes it's good to just let go of all that and be in a state of surrender more. It's very important for fertility to be in a state of surrender. So like I was saying before, the body needs to feel safe more than it feels unsafe for pregnancy. So be intentional about cultivating this feeling of safety to create a fertility-friendly environment within yourself. So if you're someone that's more scientifically minded, I would recommend going to heartmath.com, and you can actually get this device where they measure your heart rate variability, and then it connects to an app, and it will lead you through a meditation every day. And it will literally tell you when you're in heart-brain coherence. So when you're in heart-brain coherence, then you know for sure you're in that state of gratitude, you're in that state of appreciation, and you're in that state of where you're more in your spirit and less in your egoic mind. So anyone that just prefers to have a more scientific look at the importance of gratitude and meditation and breath work, I encourage you to go to heartmath.com and dive into their work. It's really, really profound and really simple to do every day. Some emotional healing practices. Journaling, very powerful for releasing thoughts, fears, hopes. We don't want to hold this stuff in our head. If we have thoughts that you can't seem to let go of, just want to put it onto paper, just get it out, journal. You can also journal prayers and affirmations. Gentle movement like Qigong, Yin Yoga, or walking in nature is very healing for the emotional body. Acupressure or tapping like the emotional freedom technique, EFT, on points like Yin Tong, which is the third eye point in between the eyebrows, or the Heart 7 point at the wrist, which like when we went over in the acupressure section. So any of the heart points or the pericardium points or the points on the head you can tap on, and that's just going to be activating your Shen, calming the Shen, calming the heart. Of course, talking to a counselor, a healer, or a supportive friend to process emotions is necessary many times. Spending time with animals opens your heart almost instantly. So animals are a great tool for healing. Grounding and earthing, we talked a lot about that already. But this is emotionally healing, nourishes both the heart and the uterus, reconnecting the spirit with the body. So many practices, so many meditations that you can do. The point isn't to do all of them. The point is to find one or two that really resonate with you, that you can see yourself doing on a daily basis, and then just sticking with it. The key really here is consistency, and just training yourself to be calm, training yourself to be peaceful, training yourself to be more in your spirit, more than your egoic mind. And this is like a shortcut to healing fertility when you get in this spiritual space. We're going to get deeper here. So healing the Shen spirit, the importance of letting go. 100% of spiritual growth and emotional healing is about letting go. This is because of the principle of oneness. In Eastern medicine, fundamentally, on a soul level, we already have everything we could ever need or want. There is nothing wrong with us. We are whole in spirit. We need to start believing this if we don't already. This is because we are really souls and not these bodies. The body is just a vehicle for the spirit. The spirit is what brings life to the body. If our goal is to create life, then we need to connect to the source of life on a regular basis through spiritual practice. The more we are in tune with our spirit, the healthier and more fertile our bodies become. Spiritual healing is a shortcut to physical healing. Every cell listens to what we believe and think about ourselves. When we think, we are broken or defective, the cells tune to that frequency. When we think and know that we are powerful beings born in the image and likeness of God, our cells tune to that frequency. This comes down to identity. What identity do we need to let go of that we may have inherited from our past programming or heard from a doctor? What identity do we need to adopt to experience our real nature as one with Source, as one with God, as one with the universe, as one with all of life? The only things that hold us back from feeling and realizing our wholeness is ignorance or perceptions that simply are not true on the fundamental spiritual reality of this universe. Right now, you may be identified with the diagnosis of unexplained infertility, PCOS, being 38 years old, or some other condition that is holding back your fertility. That may have been your experience at a certain point in time in the third dimension, but it is not the ultimate reality of your being. Learn to separate your experience from your identity. Your true identity is that you are one with God, you are one with the universe, you are one with all that is, you are one with life. This isn't to say that you are God, not at all, but you are a piece of God and contain the essence of God as your spirit, which is who you truly are, born in the image and likeness of God. If God was the sun, you would be a sun ray. The sun ray is not the sun itself, but it contains the essence of the sun and all of the qualities of the sun's light. If God was the ocean, you would be an ocean wave. Our past perceptions, positionalities, personalities, judgments, diagnoses, false identities, and beliefs, these are all like content in the ocean, like the debris in the ocean. We often identify with this content and this debris in our life more than we identify with our soul. And this is what holds us back, and this is what needs to be let go. This is why we say that spiritual healing is 100% about letting go. Because we are not the content. We are not the things that have happened to us. We are not the things that have been said about us or to us. And we are not the diagnosis a doctor has put on us. We are the context as opposed to the content. We are life itself. We are one with it, as an ocean wave is one with the ocean. So let God, let life, let the universe be your identity. The content of your life is not your identity. Infertility is not your identity. Unlimited life expression is your identity. This is how the universe actually works. In Eastern medicine, it is known as the Tao or the Tao. In Western thinking, we can use the word God or universe or life. We are one with life itself, and deep within, on the most fundamental level of our existence, we contain all of the qualities of life, all of the qualities of God. What are these qualities then? For one, the universe is infinite. It is always expanding into more and more expressions of more life. Despite what outer appearances look like at times, despite what we are experiencing in this body and in this dimension right now, our soul will go on forever in infinite expressions of life. This is the good news. Just knowing that and believing that alone gives your power back right there. You are untouched by time and experience on a soul level, and the soul is who you really are. Another quality of life is harmony. The universe is harmonious. Even when it seems chaotic and like things are falling apart, there is always a divine order underneath it all. There is a peace that surpasses understanding, which is another quality, peace. Another quality of the universe is love. The universe itself is conscious and it is loving. God is love. You can see this in the eyes of your dog. You can see it in the way plants bear fruit. You can see it in the way that the planets, suns, stars, and earth are all in perfect orbit to sustain and maintain life. There is so much order and harmony in this cosmos driven by love. To love is to care for, and if you really contemplate nature and the cosmos, you will see that everything is being cared for in an amazingly intricate and advanced way. So one of the easiest ways to start identifying with and connecting with our true soul nature is to contemplate and start resonating with these sacred qualities of life. Remember, we are tuning ourselves to this frequency the way you would tune an instrument. You are tuning your body to your soul, which is to say, you are tuning your body to health, wholeness, eternality, peace, harmony, and the possibilities for your life open up tremendously when you do this. Pick a sacred quality, love, peace, harmony, eternality, and start contemplating it as the essence of your being and the essence of the universe, and feel how there is no separation between the two. Separation is the greatest lie and needs to be let go of. Oneness is the key. If you do this long enough, you will be surprised what can happen, because these qualities and God itself really is within you. You are cleansing your perceptual windows when you do this. Ask, let me see myself the way God sees me, or the way the universe sees me. Let me feel my true nature before I was born in this life. Ask those questions. Despite what is going on in your physical reality right now, peace, love, eternality, and harmony is always running in the background, and it is always available to tap into. In fact, it is actually more real than whatever circumstance is going on in the physical. This physical reality comes and goes as fast as a blink of an eye in the mind of the cosmos. But these sacred qualities of the divine are here forever, and they are you forever. This isn't just fluffy sounding, hippy-dippy talk. This is real with a capital R. This is base reality. Your infertility diagnosis is not base reality, no matter how heavy it may seem at times. Take time out of your day, every day, to come back to base reality. This is what meditation and self-cultivation is really about. One more sacred quality of life that is perhaps the most important concerning fertility is creativity. The universe is creative. One definition of God that I really like is creative principle, the creative principle of the universe. It is your soul's nature to be creative, as your soul is one with all of life. Every time you do your spiritual practice, you are connecting to the creative force of the cosmos. Keep this in mind as you are intending on creating a human being in your body. What could be more powerful than to enhance your fertility capacity? When you are still and go within, you are literally connecting to the creative power that has birthed worlds and universes. You are tuning yourself to that creative frequency, that powerful force of love and creation. As you tune to that, you resonate with it. You identify with it. Your vibration matches it. And then you start to outpicture that vibration into your life. So let's meditate and practice with the intention of this frequency becoming the dominant frequency of our way of being. The balance between effort and surrender within the fertility journey. When you heal the Shen and realize your true nature, the miraculous becomes possible. It is a quantum leap in healing any condition when you work from the soul level. In Eastern medicine, the Shen or spirit resides in the heart. The heart is known as the emperor of the body. When you heal the emotional heart, the emperor can govern effectively, and the kingdom of the body becomes harmonized and in sync with the fundamental harmony of the universe. When you let go and surrender, you literally open your heart. Similarly, when you come into a feeling of gratitude, the heart also opens. When the heart is closed, the emperor cannot do its job. Your cells are constantly regenerating every day. The cells are listening to your thoughts and your frequency and regenerating accordingly. You grow a new body every 7 years cellularly. The more often you do your self-cultivation practice, and the more and more you connect to your soul and identify with your soul more than your body and circumstances, the greater the possibilities in all aspects of your life, including and especially your fertility. Okay, so I hope that served you guys. It's pretty deep there. I'd recommend that you watch that over and over again if some of it was a little hard to follow, but it's very complete and it's very important. And if any of that, doesn't align with anyone or conflicts with your beliefs or whatever, that's fine. You can take or leave any of that. But this is an Eastern medicine course, so this is rooted in Eastern medicine, spirituality, and philosophy. But the way I see it, it all aligns with Western spirituality as well. So, it's just about connecting to your spirit more than your body. And when our goal is to bring another life into this world, we're really inviting another soul into this world. So in my view, treating infertility isn't complete without treating the spirit, because really it's the spirit that you're looking to bring into this world, not just some body, not just some baby. You're literally inviting a soul to take root in your body. And since all souls are connected, since all of life is connected within God, you really might want to consider, connecting to your soul, connecting to spirit, to God, because it makes you more receptive. It makes you more receptive to bring another life into this planet. Okay, so this is just basically everything we went over in this course. So this is the strategy. This is the strategy to having dynamic fertility, to healing infertility with Eastern medicine. So you can look at each color, and we don't want to do every single thing that we went over, but we want to pick a few things in each category that we can bring into our life. And you could just start with one and slowly build on. Don't try to do everything tomorrow. This is a way of being. This is a way of life. We're trying to teach you guys how to live, to be your best fertile self. Because fertility is really for one definition of fertility, the most simple definition of fertility is an abundance of energy reserves. An abundance of chi reserves, because you got to have an abundance of life to birth another life. So all of these categories support that. All of these categories, if you bring them into your lifestyle and change your lifestyle, you will have an abundance of energy reserves. You will completely transform your fertility. So pick what resonates with you and don't try to do everything. This goes for supplements too. Doing a few things thousands of times is much more productive in the long term than doing a little bit of everything only a few times. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Doing everything almost never works. Pick a practice that resonates with you and stick with it. Consistency on one or two things is key for self-cultivation. Do not be swayed by variety and new programs that might come out. Stay grounded in what works for you. There is always new information coming out at us. Stay grounded and centered in your practice. Less is more. You can do this. What you do today determines what you become tomorrow. Change your state, tell yourself an empowering story, and follow the strategy. This is the secret to success. This is the secret to completely transforming your fertility using Eastern medicine. And you can do this. You are very powerful. Your power is unlimited. So think about these 3 S's: state, story, and strategy. Okay? So you don't want to just go straight to the strategy. So this is the strategy. But before we go to the strategy, every day you want to do self-cultivation, which I guess is kind of part of the strategy in this realm, in the mind and spirit realm. But you want to change your state. You want to change your state from a state of fear, state of worry, any of the lower vibrational states, to a state of love, to a state of joy, to a state of gratitude. You want to do that on a daily basis. You want to change your state. The quickest way to change your state is through the breath, or through meditation, or through gratitude, or through exercise can change your state as well. So the 3 S's: change your state, and then change your story. Before you began this program, you might have had a story that you have infertility, that there's nothing you can do to improve your fertility. You just have this diagnosis and there's nothing you can do about it. But change that story. Everything we just went over, when we're talking about changing our identity, this is changing our story. This is the true story. This is base reality. So you could read this every day. We are going to attach this as a bonus printout. This is the ultimate story. So you could read this every day. After you change your state, after you do your breath work, after you connect to gratitude, you read the new story. Okay? And then you follow the strategy. So the strategy is what you do every day, all day. So, like I said, just go through each category and try to add in 1 or 2 things into your life, slowly over time. So the fertility tea is pretty much a staple for almost everyone. You should definitely do that. If nothing else, tomorrow I'd start with, a little gratitude meditation, connecting to your spirit, and make your fertility tea. That might be a great place to start. And then next time you go grocery shopping, take some of our food printouts and the information from the food therapy section, and just start bringing in those foods into your weekly shopping routine, and try to eat fertility friendly foods and just well balanced, colorful meals 80% of the time. And then, body work. Maybe you already have an exercise practice. Maybe you need to start doing some exercise. Start going for a walk in nature. Do the La Jin stretch if you really don't feel like doing anything, because this is basically just laying down, but it's extremely powerful and refreshing to the circulation of the reproductive system. Really opens up all the meridians of the reproductive system. So just pick one of these, Some acupressure you should be doing every day. Most people should be doing some acupressure on the important fertility points that we went over, and the fertility tea in the herbal section. But you could go further with it and do the moxa. You can do some qigong. But again, don't feel like you have to do everything. Simplicity is key. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So the main thing is that you're just picking something and you're sticking with it. Now you might want to change after a while. You might want to add something in. Say you've been doing a La Jin stretch for a couple months, and now you want to move on and start doing some qigong. I think that's a great way to go about it. The great way to change your routine is to change seasonally, because that's the way nature changes. So everything we're doing in this course is about connecting and aligning to the rhythm of nature, right? So nature changes seasonally. So say for the summer is more yang. So maybe you do a little bit more yang exercises. You do a little bit of more fast-paced yoga, maybe some light weightlifting in the summer. And then, in the autumn, when the yin starts to come more alive, we can slow down, and maybe instead of doing that type of exercise, you start doing some qigong practice every day in the autumn. And then in the winter, which is the utmost yin, maybe we're more in a hibernation state. We're supposed to chill out a little bit more in the winter, so you just do the La Jin stretch every day instead. But we always want to do some acupressure every day, even if it's right before bed or right with your meditation practice is a good time to do it. And if you're really, cold or really yang deficient, as we went over those patterns, then some moxa might be necessary as well. And then we went over lifestyle. So we really want to optimize our sleep. We really want to optimize our hydration. We really want to optimize our time in nature, grounding in the sunlight. And also, the next time you go shopping, you want to really look for products that don't have those endocrine disruptors in it, using more free and clear personal care products, cleaner makeup, cleaner laundry detergent, fluoride-free toothpaste, aluminum-free deodorant, fluoride-free water. So yeah, this is the strategy. So just every day, change your state, tell yourself a different story, tell yourself an empowering story that you have the power to change, that you are fertile, that you are becoming more and more fertile every day. Every day and in every way, I'm becoming more fertile. Every day and in every way, I'm becoming more fertile. Change your state, tell yourself that story, and then walk in the direction of the strategy with your lifestyle every day. If you do that every day, the months will build on themselves, the years will build on themselves. You will completely transform your body. You will completely transform your fertility. This course isn't just about becoming fertile and getting the result. This course is about becoming the best version of yourself. This course is about becoming the person that effortlessly gets pregnant. It's not about forcing a pregnancy. It's about aligning with nature and effortlessly becoming pregnant and conceiving a child, because that is what is natural to do for a woman of childbearing age. So there's nothing to lose by following this strategy. There's nothing to lose by following this strategy. The benefits are only positive. You'll never regret it. And most all of these things can be used for men as well. There may be some men watching this course as well. Most of this stuff is for men as well. And it takes two to tango. So the more your partner can follow this strategy as well, the better. But you can do this. You can do this. You are powerful. And what you do today determines what you become tomorrow. So thank you for taking this course with us. We really believe in you. We've seen so many patients in our clinic that we've given treatment plans to you just like this, and we've seen people that have been told by their doctors that their only possibility is IVF, and yet they still got pregnant naturally, and now they have a child. We've seen women in their 40s get pregnant naturally and have children. This is very powerful stuff. Your body has the power to transform. Your body has the power to heal. And the more you connect with that creative force of the universe, that creative force in your soul, the more you are resonating and harmonizing with the power that literally birthed the entire world. It's within you. You can do this. God bless you all. Thank you for your time.